Good morning and happy Thursday, fellow Star Wars fans. In case you missed it, the Logical Inquisitor put a list up on the blog earlier this week where he goes over his top 5 Sith and his top 5 Jedi. This list is up for debate. Clearly, there's been some omissions from his lists. Not to mention that his lists are vastly out of order. So let's just get into it. The first thing I noticed, Mr. Conquistador, is that you do put the Sith first. And I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but what that tells me is that on a subconscious level, you actually favor the Sith over the Jedi. No big deal. Let's just get into the list here. As I said, starting with the Sith, number 1, you have Sidious. Number 2, you have Plagueis. Can't really argue with those two. You have your opinion, obviously. I think they should both be in the top 5, but I don't think necessarily in that order. My first big issue with your list is number 3. You have Caedus. And if you want to put someone so shitty on your list, you can. But Caedus definitely isn't one of the top 5 Sith ever. I mean, if you expand it to 10, you might be able to make room. But if you're keeping this to 5, there's absolutely no way Caedus or Crate should be on this fucking list. You should immediately replace them with Darth Bane and Darth Maul. Darth Bane came up with the rule of 2, which is basically what the Sith lived by after he came up with the rule. So how the fuck can't you have him on there? And then Darth Maul, just because he has the most badass lightsaber in the history of Star Wars. I mean, obviously Anakin is superior, but Darth Maul with that fucking lightsaber, man. I mean, you can't beat that saber. On those grounds alone, Darth Maul should be in the top 5. So, and then I can hardly even say this. You have Vader at 5. Okay, so throw that list out, people. I mean, that list has no meaning. Your top 5 Sith in this order. Number 1, Lord Vader. Just because he brought balance back to the Force and destroyed Sidious. Or at least he seemingly destroyed Sidious until, Disney came up with the ending of The Rise of Skywalker. But that's for a different fucking discussion. Number 2, I'd actually put Darth Bane because of the rule of 2. He came up with the whole fucking rule of 2. So, number 3, I'd put Plagueis. There are some theories where Plagueis actually is the father of Luke. I've also heard the Palpatine theory, but Plagueis is the one who could manipulate life. That's where that whole theory came from. You got to put him up there. Number 4, I'd put Sidious. And you got to contend that Sidious is potentially the smartest character in the Star Wars universe. He manipulates everybody. Seems to keep the right people happy. The people that actually have the power to overthrow him, he keeps them happy. And he brings peace to the galaxy. I mean, like it or not, the war stops when he assumes control. And then number 5, you have Darth Maul. On the grounds of the badass lightsaber alone. And then we're going to go to your Jedi list. I mean, I'm not the biggest Jedi supporter, obviously. But, we'll review the list because you made a list. So, number 1, Luke Skywalker. You have Luke Skywalker number 1. Please, in your response, go over the criteria for your number 1 Jedi. Does your number 1 Jedi run like a coward? Does your number 1 Jedi try to commit murder? Not only murder, cowardly murder. Anakin left him with no competition. Vader wiped out any semblance of competition Luke may have had. He's got free reign to train the next order of Jedi. And what fucking happens? I mean, I know you like to say, oh, I prefer the expanded universe, Luke. Yeah, well, I prefer to pretend I got $10 million fucking dollars in the bank too. That don't make it fucking so. Facts are, Luke attempted to murder Kylo Ren, drove him to the fucking dark side, and then isolated himself. In terms of heroism, Leia is way above Luke. Leia never turns her back on her loved ones. Leia never drives anyone to the fucking dark side. She's loyal. She remains a leader of her people. She never runs and hides like the fucking coward Luke is. So, your Jedi list. We already said Luke, Yoda number 2, Obi-Wan number 3. I mean, all fucking cowards. You finally get some sense into that brain of yours when you put Anakin 4, and then Revan 5. I mean, that's debatable. You know, you could definitely argue him, but I'm going to say you have to expand your list to 10 to put Revan in here. Also, he could be on any top 10 Sith list as well. Also, you know, and how did the Jedi get Revan back to the Jedi Order? I believe something like they wanted to manipulate his power. Another Force power user they want to manipulate. That's what the Jedi are. Manipulators of people who are powerful with the fucking Force. And then when those people don't want to follow the Jedi agenda, they're discarded and made to be fucking outcasts. So, I don't like Mace Windu, but he never exhibits the cowardly acts that Luke does. And for that alone, he should be on this fucking list. And for restoring balance to the Force. Anakin Skywalker does that. Luke can't do that. He ain't the fucking chosen one. And Luke doesn't exist, as I've said before, if Darth Vader doesn't fuck Padme. So get your facts straight. Top Sith ever, Vader. Top Jedi ever, Anakin Skywalker. Based on the fact that he has the most Force potential of anybody ever, like it or not. More powerful, more potential than Luke could fucking dream to have. And then if Luke is as powerful as you say, that makes it even worse that he tries to kill Kylo Ren in his sleep. Even worse. There is nothing you can say that defends these fucking actions. Luke Skywalker is inferior to Anakin in every fucking way.